Arun Shourie, if we accept, and I haven't seen anyone disagreeing with me yet, that our diversity and our pluralism is what makes this country unique, it is at the heart of the Indian story. How did we come to a point where secularism actually became a bad word for some, where it was countered with phrases like pseudo-secularism, and how do we preserve our pluralism?
So it's a very important point you make, because secularism is very different from pluralism. Secularism actually arose from the notion of differentiating the state from religion, not from the diversity of religions. It was an inter-sectarian, it was a sectarian problems in Europe which led to this thing. In our case, the exact point is pluralism. And in India, I feel we should really do what Narayan Murthy says, shift to the word of pluralism. The reason being, secularism, the word has been so prostituted that Indian secularism consists in calling other people communal. Then it consists in a completely differential application of the principles. I'll give you one instance. If a religious place of worship is mismanaged, okay, Gurdwara, mosque, what is to be done? The community will look after it. The SGPC will look after it, which is elected under the Government Act of 1925. Yes. But if a temple is mismanaged, the government will take it over. So it is a differential application of these principles. So the better way is pluralism. That is really what differentiates India. And if you'll just give me half a minute. You see, it is not just that there are many religions, accidentally. It is out of a deep belief in our civilization, and in this case, Hindu and Buddhist civilization, that we do not know the nature of reality. We do not know the one path. It has not been revealed to any one person. Things are not to be determined by fidelity to one book, okay, but to one's own experience, that is darshan. That is what differentiates India and results in pluralism. And it is not just that that every religion can be here as that we tolerate it. No, we greatly respect it. Okay. And that we recognize the importance of religion, because secularism also came to mean that, yes, scientific temper is all there is to it and religion is bad. That's not the Indian essence at all.
So not the Nehruvian model, yes, in a sense is what you're saying.
Model, Ramakrishna Paramahansa's model, Raman Maharishi's model, Nizamuddin Aulia's model, completely different from just an imported word which has now been prostituted called secular.
Amartya Sen, do you agree with Arun Shourie that secularism has become a prostituted word?
Well, I think there are two things there. One is Arun is making a point about how a word has become corrupted. He is also making the point that secularism is a Western concept that came to us. I would dispute the latter particularly, because in some ways when 1600
there are many Western things which are very good. I'm not saying about that. But the way we have...
I'm not, I wasn't attributing that thought to you, Arun. I was saying in 1600 when they were burning at the stake in Campo de Fiori in Rome, someone for apostasy. Akbar was writing about the need for secularism, not exactly his word, but exactly the concept of the need for the state to be equidistant and equally protective of people, of different categories of people. Now that is actually not only not a Western concept, though the West respects it, but there is some claim that that was stated here, in fact in Agra, not very far from here, first, in that clarity, not so much just to avoid anything religious, but anything religious that you have has to be equidistant to the different religions that the country has. And that, in that sense, pluralism is a part of that story. Yeah. Now, I think the question that comes up now is whether the equal protection of all communities, it might be violated for the Sikhs in 1984, for the Muslims in 2002. How do you deal with that? Are these not violations of secularism for the state not to do what Akbar was arguing that it should be done? it's that we're looking at. So it's not really a concept that came from the West and we have somehow got a corrupt use of that.
Yes.
It is something that was very central here.
So you're saying whatever the word is, the idea is still alive and at the heart of India, or needs to be?
And you know, Mr. Naiman is skeptical of everything, so I accept that. And he's right, I mean, one should be. But secularism and democracy mean a lot to me. No, but democracy has never meant for me just majority rule. It's never been defined as that. Basically, democracy, I think the biggest definition is that of, comes from Mill's work, democracy is government by discussion.